Hi, everyone, and welcome. Father Lamb here, pastor of Blessed Virgin Mary here in Northampton and Queenship of Mary. And today is August 23rd, Feast of St. Rose of Lima. And anyway, yesterday we celebrated the Queenship of Mary, our parish feast day. And a week ago celebrated the Feast of the Assumption, and kind of Mary bringing our two parishes together in the octave there. And that's a wonderful thing. And Mary is taking care of us. Mary is with us, and we rely on her, Mary, who's full of grace, to bring that grace into our lives as well. And I noticed yesterday, like at Mass in the reading, Jesus talked about how it's hard for the rich to enter the kingdom of heaven. And it's easier for a camel to pass through an eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. And the disciples object or say, well, who can be saved? And Jesus says, well, for man, it's impossible. For God, all things are possible. So what's this really mean? Like rich people can't get to heaven? It really doesn't have anything to do with money per se. I mean, you can have rich people who are very generous. You could have people who don't have much money or very stingy. And what the mystics would teach us is that it all comes down to attachment or detachment. What we're trying to do in our spiritual lives is be detached to the things of this world so that God can be number one in our lives. And that really is the whole journey of the spiritual life, is continually bringing Christ to the center of our lives. That's the struggle. Is Jesus number one in my life or not? And other things get in the way because of our busyness, because of our emptiness, and a lot of other things that are going on. And it really comes down to trusting God. And that's hard. Like, it's easy to talk about it. Well, I just got to trust God. Okay, but what does that mean on the practical level? And sometimes that's very difficult. And very often what happens with riches is that we're trying to control life because of fear. I don't really trust God. I have a lot of fear going on. And in this fear, I try to control everything. If you have enough money, that can help you to try to control things. Enough money in the bank. It's going to take care of me as I get older. I'm worried about health care. I'm worried about if I get sick, where am I going to end up? They're going to put me in some nursing home somewhere. So we have enough money, we can control some of this. And it's all based in fear. Now, all those things have their place. I'm not saying they don't. But is God really number one in my life? Do I really trust him? And see, it's like I've said many, many, many times before, and it's really a result of original sin. We all have this emptiness inside us, this hole, and it's a God-sized hole that only God can fill. It's a spiritual hole. It's a spiritual emptiness. There's a holy longing inside us for God. As Augustine said, you have made us for yourself, O Lord, and our hearts are restless until they rest in you. We are made for God. But when we find this emptiness happening, we try to fill it with material things. And it might be, something to drink, something to eat, whatever it is. For me, it's, Reese's peanut butter cups, Hershey's chocolate, vanilla ice cream. I'm not trying to make you feel guilty on a given night. You want to have some ice cream? Eat it. There's nothing wrong with that. Celebrate with your family. Go out to the creamery. Eat ice cream. It's all good, But if we do that all the time and not face our emptiness, then we're going to struggle spiritually and not grow. So here's the challenge for us. On a given evening, when you feel an emptiness inside yourself, let go of trying to fill it. There's that urge, if I just get something to eat, if I just get something to drink, I go look at something on the internet. See, there's a restlessness there that's very real. And the problem is most of us think we're strange or weird or it's only happening to us. No, it happens to everybody. That emptiness, it doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. That emptiness is an opening for God. And so when you feel the emptiness, fight off the temptation to fill it up with something. Keep your phone in the other room. Don't go on Facebook or scrolling here or there trying to fill that emptiness. Playing video games. Let it all go and feel the emptiness. And then invite God in. Jesus, I want you to fill this emptiness that's going on inside me. Stop running from it. And what's really perplexing about this is it's sort of like a duality that two opposites can enter into us at the same time. It's not all or nothing, this or that. It's both and. For example, what I mean to say is this. I was with some people a few days ago and we were celebrating something. It was wonderful. People were dancing and carrying on and laughing and having a great time. A little bit removed from that, I left that place and I felt an emptiness and sadness deeply inside me. And I knew what it was. Grieving the loss of my sister who died a few months ago. Now, both of those dualities were present at the same time. We're at that place dancing, carrying on, people are having a fun time. That was all great. But underneath that was that sadness. Both kind of happening at the same time, that duality. And sometimes life just has us hold those things as opposites. And it's hard. It's hard for us. This is a mysterious thing that's happening in our lives. But when we run from it, we cause havoc to our spiritual lives. To stay with it, yes, celebrate. But when you find that emptiness coming in, stay with that. So I went from a time of celebration to going home and feeling a deep sadness inside me. And I just had to honor that as missing my sister. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm simply grieving. And I honor my sister's life by feeling that. And then you can decide what to do with that sadness. Sometimes sit with it. Bring God, invite God into it. Call up a close friend and say, you know what, I'm just feeling disjointed right now. I just need to talk to somebody. And that's what I did. And then it started to dissipate. But in this culture, whenever we feel that emptiness, we think there's something wrong with us, and we sort of do violence to our spiritual lives by running out there and trying to pull something or someone in to fill it so that I don't feel empty. So here's the challenge this week. Let yourself feel what you're feeling. And if you're feeling an emptiness, rather than see it as something negative, see it as an opening to allow God inside your life in a deeper way. This is what the mystics and the desert fathers teach us. And we haven't really learned this because we're constantly running, getting busier and busier and noisier so we don't have to feel the emptiness inside us. And our whole culture is doing that. You don't have to do that. The spiritual life begins by facing the emptiness and inviting Jesus Christ in. So this week, let's let go of the ego, right? Ego, I am in Latin, can also stand for ego, easing God out. Let go of the ego. Feel what you're feeling. And if you happen to be feeling an emptiness on any given night, stay with it. It takes courage to stay with it. Stay with it. And invite God in. And as time passes, you'll find that peace that'll come into your life, a peace that only Christ can give to us. And it's a tremendous gift. Let go of the anxiety, let go of the emptiness, invite Jesus in. God bless you.